We're live. Oh my goodness. Hello. Hello, everybody. I don't know who's here yet. But it doesn't matter. We're here. It's today is Wednesday. This is my Wednesday free for all, and we have no topic. We just do whatever we feel like doing. That's pretty much what we do. Um, as always, all the welcome in questions, the icebreaker questions, what's on your hook, what's in your cup, what's for dinner, what time should I be over for dinner, that sort of thing. So tell me all, everybody. Hello, Crystalline. Hello, Mobs. Hello, Sandrine. Um, and That's what we're doing here. So today is Wednesday. I do a Wednesday free for all. And hey, Shatika. And then Thursdays I usually don't post. Hey, Dana. Hey, Nana Michelle. Thursdays I usually don't post a video. Fridays, hey, Crafty Chats. Fridays, it's whatever. Very often I haven't prepared anything, so I'll go live on those Fridays, and I have a good time then too. Saturdays, hey Amanda. Oh, Amanda, I wondered about Granny D because she was not on at 5 today. I know she's having some health issues, so I don't know what's going on there. Um, anyway, yeah, Fridays, I call it Formless Friday because I never know what I'm going to do. Saturdays, I usually don't post anything. Sundays, I do my Sunday readings, which is poetry. Mondays, I have my Monday Men. Oof, I still need to line someone up for next Monday. Give me ideas, people. Um, and then Tuesdays, I do a topic Tuesday. And then we're back at Wednesday, which is today, where I have uh, no topic. We just chat and have fun. Okay. So that was a few other announcements. I'm still getting messages from people. There is somebody on Instagram pretending to be me, using pictures of me, actually flattering pictures of me that he has stolen from my own Instagram account, and trying to scam people out of money. For the record, I have two Instagram accounts. One is called Bearded Yarn Dudes. The other is called Tamino File, which is named after my um, opera blog called Tamino File. Tamino was or is the lead tenor role in the opera The Magic Flute, and that was the first full role I ever sang. Um, so yeah, so people are, sending me screenshots of this person pretending to be me, saying that they've like won something and they have to like, oh, I don't know, put money into an account or give account information in order to receive a prize, that sort of thing. Um, it's not me. I would never do that. I mean, I accept gifts gladly, and I don't mind telling you where about my PayPal and my Cash App, but I'm not gonna scam anybody out of anything. Um, and that's the thing. So, and Dana has recently been hacked on Instagram. Somebody approached me pretending to be Dana and offering me money. through Cash App, but it was obviously a fake. Crafty Chats, I don't know whether I could call the cops. Um, I don't know. I reported it to reported this account to Instagram, and I heard back from them that they could not determine that that person had violated any community standards. I guess impersonating another person and stealing his pictures is not a violation of community standards, apparently, if you are Instagram. I mean, all it would take would be a little bit of research in order to determine that the pictures that he is using were on my accounts a whole lot, a long, long time ago. It's probably why they look so good, is because they're so old. But anyway, I don't know about the about legal action. And we don't know that any theft has occurred because we don't know whether anyone has actually fallen for his scam. That's another thing. Um, so, pretending to be me apparently is not a crime. It might be a foolish act, depending upon whom you ask, but apparently is not a crime. Or does not violate any kind of community standards. At first, I was sort of amused, but then when people started sending me screenshots of what he was asking of them, that's when I really, really got angry about it. Crafty chats, where is he? What can I do? Um, I mean, it has to be worthwhile for the legal authorities to really pursue it. And at this point, I do not know that anyone has fallen for his scams. I don't know whether he has done anything illegal aside from impersonating me and stealing my pictures. Yes, my pictures are my own intellectual property, but that's a hard one to prove, and there's not a whole bunch of legal benefit to actually getting that point across. Crystalline says he has a rotating IP address, so Instagram cannot, yeah, track him down. Hey, Manfa Makes. Hey, Isola. Isola. It's honestly, I aside from his using my photos without my permission, um, I have not suffered any kind of uh, um, monetary damages because of his actions. My reputation has not been damaged because no one thinks it's me. Everyone asks me what's going on here, and I say it's if they are approached by this person, because no one who knows me thinks that I would approach them with that kind of a scam. So, I mean, and if I wanted to um, seek legal counsel about this to find out about it, it's going to cost me money, and I don't have money. He probably has more money than I do already when he started. So, so all I can do is just tell people it's not me and just be on the lookout. The only two Instagram accounts I have are Bearded Yarn Dudes and Taminophile. I do not have an Instagram account that includes my name plus a number. So, I mean, that's all I can say is just stay away from that guy and stick to me. Well, Crafty, you're very kind to say that. Many people have said very kind things just like that. People have said they know me, they know that they know who I am, and they know that that's not the sort of thing I would do. And so that actually that does warm the cockles of my heart. Um, those that are still capable of being warmed at my advanced stage, you never know. Anyway, let's move on. I was just talking about schedule. Oh, oh, another thing. Next Monday is the 17th. In the US, that is the day that we commemorate Martin Luther King's birthday, because God forbid we should ever celebrate anything not on a Monday, because 3-day weekends are more important than anything else. But it's also, it would have been Betty White's 100th birthday. Many, many, many people. Everybody knows about Betty White's fondness for animals. So many people are doing fundraisers in her honor on her birthday for pet rescue organizations and humane organizations. I think that's a wonderful idea. I've been talking about a sweater and blanket project. It's been rather informal to this point, just a suggestion, really. But on that day, I'm going to launch it as a formal project. It's going to be a year-long project, and I might even call it My Betty White Project or something like that. But it's going to be about making sweaters and blankets for pet rescue organizations. Whether it's one that is near you or any other that you know of. I am in contact with a one that is on a national level. I've been watching them on YouTube for many, many, many years. Um, and so I have their permission to use their name. Hey, Lori, glad to see you. Hey, Sharon. Um, Crafty Chat says I should call it the Betty Boop. I think I will. I like that name. The Betty Boop. Yes. But anyway, yes. Uh, exactly. Crystalline suggests that you contact the shelters, find out what they'll accept and what they won't. And it's going to be different at different shelters. And in most areas, there's going to be more than one organization. Whether it's like a real shelter or a more like a network, of people who do fosters and just rescue animals out of the shelters and put them into foster homes, that sort of thing. So, just do a little research in your own area. Um, I will compile a list of nationwide and as many regional resources as I can when I post a video about that. Um, oh yeah, booping. Yeah, I like that. I like that. The Betty boop. I should make a note of that because I have a mind like a sieve. In fact, in yesterday's chat, somebody suggested someone I should talk to for my Monday Men series, and I can't remember who it was. Oh gosh, I what I need to do is just go back to that and just scroll through all of the chat to find out who it was. Oh, excuse me. Mm. So everybody, tell me what's on your hook, what's in your cup, what's for dinner, all the standard icebreaker questions. Let's see, do I have any other announcements? February 13th is a Sunday. I'm going to do a marathon that day because it will be the 20th anniversary of my bariatric surgery. I will have before photos. Hey, Stephanie. Um, I will have before photos that are sort of frightening. Um, I'm not as thin as I once was. Actually, the thinnest I ever reached was after being rather very, very sick. So I really can't count that, but I'm not unhappy with where I am now. Uh, although, like many people who used to be very heavy, my body still shows that I used to be very heavy. I wish that um, wasn't the case. Hot chocolate, yum. Oh, Isola, your husband made meatloaf. We were talking about meatloaf earlier today. Where was that? Hey, Doris. Mm. I have a package right here that you sent me last month of some beautiful blue yarn. Doris is so amazing to me. And so I have been making hats, blue hats, as palette cleansers, like you guys know I do. With that yarn and some other blue yarn I have. Hey, Kim's Crochet and Knits. Tacos for dinner. I love tacos. Ooh, Sharon. I know, yeah, it can happen. I know people who have regained a bunch. Let's see. Isla, you'll never catch up on everything. I mean, I had to learn that. I can't keep up with everyone I want to. I mean, joining Bumble on BFF mode? I don't really know what that means. um, Laurie, tell us everything about your new job. I want to hear all. Bumble. Okay. A dating app. I used to be on a lot of those dating apps. I met some very interesting people. I still have some good friends from those apps. But oh, Stephanie mentions 30 pounds. For me, that was a drop in the bucket in the old days. Moms, you're still working on your husband's blanket. Oh, by the way, I haven't done this yet. Let me put up the link if anybody wants to join me. Oh, Diamond Ring Girl is doing a crochet crowd, crochet along. So, actually, one of my patterns is being featured in a fundraising crochet along or knit along. It's a crochet pattern, obviously. Um, and Nightbot will sooner or later give you the link for it. Crystalline, glad you got a keeper there. I had a keeper once. He didn't keep me. Well, no, he kept me for 14 years, which is more than I would have done. But still. Crafty chats. Mental health is overrated. If I knew anything about mental health, which clearly I don't, not having any of my own, I would be able to comment. Okay, hold on a second, Diamond Ring Girl. Let me see if that will bring up the link. Somebody try that link and tell me if it doesn't work right now as we're sitting here. And if it doesn't work, then I'll take it down from Nightbot. Um, so, oops. Hey, Bobs. There you go. Wow. Um, yeah. Okay, Lori, you're getting feet under me, and then boom, pivot to virtual. Oh gosh, yeah. Oh yeah, I can imagine students would be more flexible, yeah, flexible in virtual. No, flexible in virtual. Yeah. Uh, okay, Stephanie and Nana Michelle both say that the link works.
Yeah, it works. Cause I came up.
Okay. No, the link to the crochet along that I posted.
Ew.
Okay, yeah. That's exactly it, Crafty Chat. It's an AIDS-related fundraiser. Um, Sharon says it goes to a Ravelry sign-in. Maybe if you're not signed into Ravelry or not a member, then you can't go to a group. I don't know how that works, rather. Um,
Give me 1 second. I will be back.
okay, cool. Okay. Um, oh, Sharon, you don't shop Ravelry? Um, Honestly, what I've done is for this fundraiser for December and January, for my Alicia shawl, which is the one that's part of the crochet along. And honestly, oh, okay, hold on. This is, what have I done? What have I done? If you
Okay, I'm back.
search, okay, if you're on Instagram and you search for Gary Boston, um, you will find him, and he's the one who organized the knit along, crochet along. Um, and he's mostly on Instagram more than any other medium. Um, you can learn about it there. If you want to participate and you want to use my pattern, then let me know. Send me an email, and we'll talk about it offline. Because what I'm doing is oh, Nana Michelle, Gary was on Instagram Live right now when I came on. Oh, I didn't realize that. Um, I've been on Instagram Live with him. He's been on here live with me. And I also recorded a conversation with him for my Monday Men, oof, some months ago. I reran it in December because December was all reruns anyway. He's a perfectly wonderful guy, regardless of all of that. Just really nice. Um, so if you want to participate, um, send me and you don't do Ravelry and you don't do Instagram and you can't find him any other way, then send me an email and I will provide you with information. Um, if you want my pattern,
How have you been lately?
oh, I was just reading Lori's comment. She's talking about her new job, which sounds fascinating. She's working with high school seniors on getting financial aid applications in, and also working on, I don't know what that abbreviation is for, um, connecting ninth graders to mentors. I think that's a good idea.
It really is.
Um, so yeah. Anyway, okay. So if you want to participate in any way, and you want my Alicia shawl, and you don't do Ravelry, and you don't do Instagram, and can't find him in any other way, just send me an email. My email is in the description of just about every video that I do. It's also in my About tab. Um, and also, if you already have the Alicia shawl pattern, if you've already bought it, and it is the best selling pattern that I have out there, um, for which I'm very grateful, by the way. um, I and you still want to help out, I can provide you with a link, um, for a way to contribute. Oh, okay, I understand. Laurie says HBCU means historically black colleges and universities. Oh,
Mm.
that's very interesting. Uh, I went to high school and college in the 70s and 80s in North Carolina, and there was, even though it was not institutionalized, there was still a lot of perceived segregation um, in um, in colleges.
Hmm.
Um, In fact, I remember there was one branch of the University of North Carolina system that I once mentioned, just out of curiosity, to my dad, and he said, "Oh, that's an Indian college," because
Mhm.
apparently, historically, a lot of American Indians, or I guess, what do we call them now? Indigenous Americans. Um,
I know what
were
you mean.
there. Yeah. Oh, well, of course, we all know what we mean, but we want to say things in a sensitive way. I mean, I mean, you can be sensitive and you can be patronizing. Uh, do you know what
It
I mean?
also depends on how you trying to put it, but we all know what you're trying to say. It's just a
No.
word that we can't get off the tip of our tongue.
Yeah, exactly. And I was basically repeating what my dad said back in the 70s. Um, so honestly, Lori, on Lori, we should talk offline because I even though I have issues with the undergrad school where I went, I'm still a big fan and proponent of like small liberal arts colleges. And there in North Carolina, you cannot swing a cat without hitting a small church-related liberal arts college, except they all call themselves universities now. But back in my day, they were all colleges, and nobody had any shame about calling themselves a college. But anyway, and actually, we got a lot of people from the Northeast who came
Mhm.
down to, even though it was like a private college, they would say that the cost with tuition, room, and board was lower than it would be for an in-state student in one of the state universities up there. Um, and I remember my first year. I started in the fall of 1980 before I'm sure much of the room was born. My first year of college, the whole year, tuition, room, and board was 4,800 bucks.
Ooh, that's a lot.
2 semesters of tuition, room, and board for 4,800 bucks?
It's a lot to me.
Well, if it's coming out of your pocket all in one chunk, yeah. But, there were scholarships, there were state grants, that sort of thing. But,
Yeah,
but, that would for a state university in the Northeast,
yeah.
that would probably have been tuition for 1 semester without the room and board.
Mhm.
Yeah, so, I mean, it still didn't come cheap, and of course, my parents sacrificed to put us through college, and I came from a family where it was just taken for granted we would all get an education.
Yeah.
Um, oh, Laura is talking about leaving the city, let alone the state, would be a stretch for a lot of the people she works with, and I can see that too. I can see that, but and we did have people who came from other parts of the country who were just there for 1 semester or 1 year, and they went back
Yeah.
and either transferred or just didn't continue with their educations. I hope that, being in a new place was an education for them.
Mm.
I don't know.
Sky, I am using Mainstain yarn.
So, oh, you've made a lot of progress. I mean, it wasn't long ago you were doing the black part and the blue part. Yeah.
Um, I haven't worked on it for like 2 days. So today is my first day in 2 days 3 days I've been working on it.
I feel like I really haven't accomplished much lately at all. I finished. I was working on something um, that was sort of self-defeating. I decided in the end because it was the yarn was a very lightweight yarn and a very small hook, and it was taking forever, and I was just getting frustrated. So I put it aside. I haven't abandoned it completely, but I put it aside, and then I decided to do another sample of the very same thing with a different yarn, and this was the result.
That is really pretty. Really
So,
pretty.
I mean, I love this yarn.
It
Um,
reminds me of of my favorite season.
Fall.
Yep.
Yep, 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 yep.
It reminds me of my
It's.
favorite season, fall, and I love it.
I'm gonna wear it around my neck, and
I love it.
it's getting chilly enough lately that I could wear it around my neck when I go out. So, yeah, this is a Tunisian mesh stitch pattern that I created. I think I've sent it to one or two people to test. I need to send it to more. Lori is fantastic as a tester because she always gives me great feedback. I've said this before. I used to be a business writer. I
Yeah.
want to be extremely clear to everybody who reads. So when somebody tells me that I have failed in that, it stings in the moment, but in the end, it's really, really useful. But yeah, I love this. I wish this was one hank of yarn. It was only 220 yards. And so, hey, Granny D, we were worried about you. Um, I wish there had been more of this yarn because I would have made it larger, but it was
Yeah.
only one hank. So anyway, that's that. And here's another one that I plan to finish before I go to bed, which is um, this is using ice yarn. It's like green and blue sparkly.
It reminds me of the ocean.
I can see that with the coloring. Yes,
It
definitely.
reminds me of the ocean. And hi, Granny. I was on your live earlier,
Was Granny live?
only for a little bit,
Okay, yeah, because
because she wasn't feeling so well.
oh yeah. Hey, Dee Dee's designer and Gigi. I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody. Lorna. Sorry if I'm missing people who come in. Um, so this is with it's a modified, I have a moss stitch shawl out there already, a triangular moss stitch shawl that starts at the bottom up. This is a modified version of it to make it this lacy thing, and I'm using an oversized hook. I can't really say I'm totally crazy about this yarn. I mean, I like the way it looks, not all that
Yeah.
crazy about the way it feels, but I had enough of it to make this, and I think it's going to be beautiful. Um, I would not buy more of it though. Oh, God.
It's so cute.
Yeah, Granny D is saying she was not feeling well, so she was only on briefly. Uh, oh, Dee Dee says she likes how you related the colors with nature. I guess the colors that I've been holding up.
It do remind me of like different colors, like the ocean and
Mhm.
fall, and those is like two of my favorite things. Even though there's more, but I love the ocean. I love fall. I love the colors of fall, and I love the colors of like the blue. Remind like especially like if you go to like so far out of the to the ocean where you get past the nasty green, and it's so beautiful when you actually look down. You can actually see
Mhm.
different
Yeah.
things
I used to live
swimming.
in Connecticut,
Hmm.
and there were certain roadways where, in the autumn, with the trees, it was like driving through a multicolored tunnel.
Hmm.
It was just amazing. Um, I mean, there are things I miss about living in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Um, but I would take one day of the cold weather and then I'd come back to North Carolina.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
it gets cold enough here.
Mm, mm, it's cold here.
Oh, I'll bet. I'll bet.
Because this morning when I left my house to go out to work this morning, it was just air temperature was 19 degrees.
Ooh.
With the wind blowing this morning, it was like 16 degrees with the wind.
Mm.
And then when I left work, it was like 25 degrees, but the wind had stopped blowing. And then it's supposed to be dropping again tonight down to I think 19, I think, and then it's going to go back up in the morning, and then we're going to start getting snow again Friday night, sometime Friday. And
I'm
I'm
sure.
like, I can't do the cold. I need to go somewhere where it's nice and warm.
I'm sure you've heard me tell this story before. I used to, when I was in New York, I had a nice corporate job, and I traveled all the time to work with a client in Wisconsin. And there was one week where their their predicted high temperature for the week was 10 below.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you, it felt colder in New York at the airport than it did when I got to Wisconsin. Largely because of the wind blowing off of the Sound when I was at LaGuardia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was where I used to live at up there by Lake Erie,
Uh huh.
that the winters up there was so bad because I lived there for about 12, almost 12 and a half years. And whatever whatever Canada get, we get
Hmm.
plus lake effect. And
Oh, the wind off of the lake. Yeah.
mhm, and like the snow will be so bad where like the one year we had got almost 8 feet of snow the one year. And then like I would like shovel my sidewalk up in the morning, go like leave to go somewhere for a couple hours and come back. My like it would be like the one year was like up to like right here on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, And then the one year, and then on top of that, they don't believe in snow days up there during the winter time at all.
Uh, when I was um, when I was in school in Indiana, uh, I spent part of my childhood in Minnesota. They never closed for anything. But in Indiana, um, I think it was about getting the school buses around, and I think
Mhm.
there was an inclined driveway in and out of the school bus parking lot. And if the school buses couldn't get out, then they had to cancel school for the day. I mean, and I remember one time when I was in Connecticut, I was in an apartment building that had the garage in underneath, and you had to
Yeah.
go up a ramp to get out of it.
Mhm.
And the ramp was icy. I could not get out. I had to carefully back my car back into the garage and then
Mhm.
back into the parking place and then walk to the train station to get to work that
Because I always tell people that if you live up there by any one of the lakes, it's from my experience. If I was you, buy a car from there and buy a coat from there.
Mm,
Because if you
yes.
don't buy a coat from there, and like from where I live at now, only been down here for the past 8 years. Always tell people buy a coat that's according to the cities. Cause like that where I live at now, the weather here, it's not cold to me because of some fact I'm used to below zero temperatures from living up there for so long. Moved down here for the first like 2 years, I'm walking around with a hoodie on and some sweatpants and some boots. That's all I'm wearing for 2 years because I'm so used to the temperatures being below
Exactly.
zero
Yeah.
during the wintertime. And
I
then moved
had
down
a
here, people looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, what are you doing?
I wish I still had I had this fantastic navy jacket that I got on sale in New York. Oh, and it was so warm. I wish I still had it. I don't really need it down here, but
Yeah.
I wish I still had it. Lori says that where I lived, Bloomington, Indiana, is often closed because of the hills. Lori is near Indianapolis, if I remember correctly. Um, let's somebody else came in that I was going to mention. Nancy. Oh, Nancy is saying it doesn't get cold there. Of course it doesn't, not in South Florida. Although one of the years when I was in Hollywood, it got down to freezing.
Mm.
It was cold that year. It only happened once. My first Christmas in South Florida, though, it was like 70 degrees. I was so disoriented. Um, it was very weird.
But
But
hey, I'm gonna jump down because my husband's calling me, but I will still be in chat and watching you from my TV.
okay, that's me on your TV, big screen. I hope it's not a very big screen.
Oh, it is a big screen. It's a 58 inch.
My waist used to be 58 and larger, but
Cause
anyway.
I can like, cause I have my, I'm doing, I'm up on my phone with you now, typing in chat on my tablet and
Hmm.
watching us on my TV,
Oh, there you go.
so I can do all three at the same time. So, but I will still be in chat while I'm talking to him.
Oh, it looks like Joan Jett just bought one of my patterns.
I still got to. I started the pattern I bought, but I didn't get past the second row.
Which one?
It was one of your shawls that I
Okay.
had got, and I
Was
just
it
didn't
was it
get past the
because
second. I think it was the mohair. I can't pronounce it. The mohair shawl. I started.
I
I can't pronounce the name of it.
okay, it's not coming to mind, but
I know it was one of your shawls that I had bought, but I can't remember the name of it.
okay. Well, if you want if you want me to help you with it, just email me.
I will.
Right. Hey, Diamond Ring
I'm going to
Girl.
jump down and talk to him real quick. Okay.
Okay.
See, I'll still stay in chat.
And Jackie is here. Hey.
Bye.
And hey, Susan K. and everybody else. Nancy, yeah, Nancy. We talk about New York and we talk about South Florida because we've both lived in both places. So, I mean, I say that I miss things about New York, but there are also things I miss about South Florida. Not so much the highways, but the but anyway. That's right, you did mention that, Nancy. Didn't you live in oof, 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 oof. Somewhere, oh, where was it? I know you lived in it's between Wilmington and Myrtle Beach, and I can't remember the name of the town right now, but I know where it was because you told me before, but my mind is like a sieve. Oh, Laurie, you're always too nice to me, but don't stop. Carolina Shores, yeah, near Calabash, yeah, yeah. There's a local yarn shop down there. Don't make me get my Google Maps out. Anyway. Oh, Granny D, you're too nice to me. You went to a doctor in Wilmington once? What was that like? Actually, in Wilmington is a bit of a medical hub because of the hospitals. Um, there's n- well, there's not a medical school in Wilmington. They're like vocational schools where people learn like nursing tech and that sort of thing. But yeah, Nancy, I wasn't crocheting when I was in New York. Well, not for most of the time I was in New York. The one time I ever went to the Lion Brand warehouse or outlet in Carlstadt, New Jersey, was my ex had already started knitting, but I was not yet crocheting. And I worked for a period every day in West Caldwell, New Jersey, which is just down the road from Carlstadt. Um, if I had started crocheting at that time, I would have stopped in Carlstadt every day on the way home, no doubt. Spent far too much money, which none of us can relate to, I'm sure. Shallot, yes. Shallot. Actually, my cousin has a beauty shop in Supply. Do you know where Supply is in down in that area of the county? Lori, I think there is. I think also East Carolina University has a medical school. I'm sure they have a nursing school. My sister used to work there. My sister was a nurse for about 400 years. So she used to work there in Greenville, where East Carolina University is, a research hospital. Yeah. Um, On a why? Let's see. I was showing you stuff, wasn't I? Do you know what happened the other day? I was working on a project and I put it aside right here. I can't be the only one this happens to. The hook just falls out of the project onto the floor immediately, and then it's gone. Can't find it. Have no idea where it is. And that's what happened to my project. And I was working on this tile poncho I was talking about. Oh, Nancy, what you mean is the UNC North, or not the UNC, the USS North Carolina, or the battleship North Carolina, which I believe had a part in World War II. I don't know all of the history. Um, there is in the summers when you can like sit like in an amphitheater. There is a light show that they have. Old Bridge, New Jersey. Uh, hmm. So I used to, speaking of Florida traffic again, I used to live in the northern part of Dade County, and then I would go to Coral Gables every day when I was in school at the university there, when I still foolishly thought I could sing. And sometimes that was a challenge. Um, the Palmetto Expressway. You would go like directly west, and then there was like what they would call the big curve, and then you would go directly south. Oh, crafty chats, good night. So, all know why. Ah, hey, mobs, you're still here. Yeah. Now, I honestly, I would like to visit Florida again. Um, my best friend from college is in St. Pete now. He is a Lutheran pastor. Um, and then I would like to visit South Florida again. I haven't been there in many, many years. Ah, Nancy says her recliner has tried to eat hooks. Dee Dee, you found it in your hair? Ah! I've done that before. I have searched far and wide for my eyeglasses when they were on my face, as if I would ever be without my glasses. Ugh. And then there was one time I was wearing contacts, and then I put my glasses on, and I could not figure out why. Suddenly, I couldn't see. That took me a while to figure out I was wearing the contacts and the glasses at the same time. Ah. Mm. Yeah, Nana Michelle. The yeah, freeways. But then it's in as far as driving goes, it's in what you get used to. Because I used to drive in New York every day. So it's in what you get used to. As long as you can read signs. Nancy, I wore contacts for a long time, but I just can't be bothered with them now. You know, it's all I can do to put my glasses on. Hmm. Now I wish I could find that one hook that I mentioned losing, because even if you pick up, because I've got a bunch of hooks, you should see the store of hooks I have over here. It's right over there. Can't you see it? Um, if I pick up another hook of the same size, it's gonna be different somehow. I don't know how, but it will. It will be different somehow. So it has to be the very same hook, beginning to end. And if it's not, it's like small children will die. Lori, that might be too much information there. Nana Michelle, I agree. Even in daylight, my depth perception is, maybe it's not what it used to be. I still have a hard time, or more and more, I should say, I have a hard time going, okay, can I make this turn now? Can I make this turn now? Is it safe to merge onto here now? Yeah. Hey, Donna. Oh, Dee Dee, I looked under everything where I have seen things roll under before. I mean, I have a very nice furled hook. Actually, it's in the very same size. I'm sure it's in this room somewhere in a project bag, but I can't find it. Okay, the ladies are talking about bras. I'm just going to take a sip now. Mm. So, what's for dinner, everybody? I have some. I had a late lunch and I haven't finished with it. I still have some unfinished bits here, right here beside me. Can't you see it? That as soon as we're done here, I'll just nuke them for a bit. Hey, Gabby. Um, um, but otherwise, it was 3 nights ago. I made the most exquisite pork roast. Oh, with some asparagus, a little bit of canned corn. That was good too. It's the roast was like, I slathered it with olive oil and salt and pepper, and I let it sit for a little bit, like you do, because then the moisture comes out and then it goes back in, and it carries the flavor back in when it goes back in. Um, and I roasted it on a bed of onion with some fresh thyme. I would have used rosemary, but I don't think my sister likes strong flavors as much as I do. But the thyme was good, and then a little. I also, when I took the roast out to let it rest, then I put the asparagus in to roast, and it had some more of the thyme with olive oil, salt, and pepper, and then I nuked the canned corn with some of the juices from the roast with the onions and the thyme and the flavor there. And by golly, it was all good. So yesterday I ate all of the leftover asparagus. Today I finished off all of the leftover corn. There's a little bit of the pork roast left, and it might be gone before the night is over too. Oh, excuse me. Even talking about eating makes me burp and hiccup. Anyway, let's see. So, welcome everybody in. I don't know what else is going on. Um, let's see. Granny, I reached out to my friend Anne in Charlotte because I wanted to pop up and see her sometime this month. And of course, when I go to Charlotte, I have to go to Salisbury to see you and my other Salisbury friends. I forgot she's having her kitchen redone this month, so it might not be till next month that I get to see you. There you go. Now, oh God, Lori, my sister made chili the other night. I suggested to her, how about a little bit of cumin? And she's going, oh no, I hate cumin. I don't like the flavor of cumin. It was the most boring chili I've ever had in my life. It's only fit for hot dogs. It's not something you would eat by itself. But she's in the other room, so don't tell her I said that. But, you know, cumin, I think is wonderful. I love seasonings. I don't like really spicy things the way I did when I was younger, but that might be age or something. But I still like nicely seasoned things. I love garlic. I love onion. I love, you know, a nice array of seasonings. Anyway, oh, I haven't done this in a few minutes, so I will put up the link if anybody wants to join me. Okay. What was I saying before? I don't remember. Let's see. Let me show you. This was the yarn I was using when I lost that one hook. Isn't it gorgeous? I can't remember the name of it. It's a Lion Brand mandala thing. And I was doing this tile poncho project. That's supposed to look random because I have all of these mandala cakes in all of these different colorways, no two alike. So it really was intended to be random. And this is going to be the next hand-dyed yarn that I cake up and use for something. Cause isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh. This, here's the label on that. Oh, yeah. Don't know what I'll do with it. I'll come up with something. It's the thing about doing a single hank is it's never a whole lot. I mean, this one was 220 yards. This one is 218 yards. It's not enough to do a lot. I mean, I'm pleased with this, but I would have been more pleased if there had been more yarn, so I could have made it larger. But I'm still not going to let go of it. So I don't know what to do. This has already taken. This was some yarn that I had but it's already taken more of that yarn than one of those hanks would have made, and I don't have any two hand-dyed, well, actually I do, hand-dyed hanks of the same colorway that I want to do for this kind of project again. Anyway, so that's what we're talking about today. Oops, let me just try that one again. See, I shouldn't try to crochet while I'm talking because I can't do either one very well. Laura, you put hot sauce on almost everything? Oh, I don't know. I don't have the tolerance for it that I once did. I remember one time, a number of years ago when we were still together and I was making chili. I always loved to make chili. I had put too much cayenne pepper in it, and that would have thrilled my ex, but I would have found it difficult. So you know what I did? I put a stick of butter in the chili, and you would not believe how it made it better. Because somehow dairy neutralizes that capsaicin business. And I don't know the chemistry stuff. Your new desk is in a 100-year-old building near a window. Oof. Lori, have you seen my finished object mountain? I'll send you something. Yeah, I mean, I've been joking. Some people talk about their whip mountains. I've got a finished object mountain because I do stuff. I mean, a lot of it I want to keep because I want to, especially for patterns, I want to at some point get better photos of the thing of the finished objects. Hey, Leela Harvey. Um, but otherwise, I have so much stuff, and there's stuff that I have an attachment to. 1, 2, 3 that I don't want to let go of, like especially the sweaters that I make for myself. Because I do love those, and you've seen some of those. 1, 2, 3. I have to count out loud because otherwise I lose count. Ah. Oh, bulky. Oh, I remember that because I wound up making that with some bulky yarn that I just wanted to get rid of, I think. I don't even remember exactly what the pattern said, but I remember the name. And Lori, believe you me, if you need yarn, I've got yarn. Do you know what I need to do? I've got some yarn that I don't really call pretty yarn. I need to come up with a way to make a design so that it's pretty. That's my next challenge. There's a crochet club at your... Oh my gosh. Lori, you must tell me more about that. Ooh, 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 ooh. Lori, you should be a guest columnist on my crochet blog. I think that's what I'll do. I'll take... Well, I'm not that crazy about the yarn I'm using today, but still, I have some... Hey, Kim. Yeah. So Kim, I keep saying I'm not going to buy more yarn. I'm not going to buy more yarn. I'm not going to buy more yarn. I was saying that in somebody else's live stream earlier today, and somebody else in the chat said, I will buy more yarn. I will buy more yarn. I will buy more yarn. One, two, three. Oh, thank you, Mobs. Thank you so much. For that, you get... You get this. Oh, what I'm wearing now? You might have seen me show this before. This was a hand-dyed hank that it was meant to be a shawl, but the hank only had like 220 yards. Let me find the label for it. It was right here. Oh. My sister tidied up last night. Oh, here it is. There we go. My sister tidied up last night, so I can't find anything. This is the label for the yarn that I'm wearing around my neck. She's in Canada. She's not on YouTube, as far as I know, or Instagram. And this particular colorway is called Crab Apple Maple. I have no idea whether it's still available. But anyway, yeah. So this was gonna be a shawl, and it's a pattern that I have in testing right now. That could be, this like a cowl, or it could be a shawl. It depends upon how much yarn you have and how much patience you have. It's a Tunisian mesh stitch, but I'm crazy about these colors too. Oh, that sounds lovely, Lori. Your crochet club does hats and scarves and blankets for homeless people and received a grant. I think that's lovely. Do you know, I was once in a church crafting group, and one big project was making blankets for, I think it was for cancer wards, and someone in charge decided that some of the blankets were not good enough to donate. And I'm going, well, give them to me. And I gave them to a homeless shelter. They didn't mind. They were not persnickety about, missed stitches or anything like that. Oh, good night, good diamond ring girl. Ah, thank you, Lori. I love these colors. Aren't they glorious? The yarn even smells good. I'm turning into crystal. I smell my yarn. Maybe that's why I don't like this yarn so much. It has no smell, or rather, it smells like plastic. It is 100% acrylic, so of course it's gonna. This is the. I was showing this before. This is ice yarns. It's hard to tell the name of a colorway from ice, but it's the variety is called Paris. Oh, and also I was showing this earlier. Doesn't really have a smell. This is the label from this one. And this colorway is called Radagast. And if I could still remember my German, I would know what that meant. But that'll be nice. I can make something nice out of this, even if it's just another one of these. Okay, I'm looking at the chat now. You guys have to entertain me because I'm getting tired. Excuse me. I have to finish this shawl. I have to write it up, actually. I don't need to finish it before I write it up because it's a simple repeat. Yeah. I mean, Ice has some really lovely yarns, and I like the colors. I just can't really call this one of my favorite Ice yarns. But I have to finish this shawl. And then I need to make a note of this. Because I came up with an idea to take some yarn that I have in my stash, and I do have some that I don't really consider beautiful yarn, and just make something beautiful out of it. And I have one skein in particular in mind to do that. When was it? I please, I cannot remember anything. It was earlier today, I think. Oh, Leela, this is one that I'm making up as I go along. I'm going to write it up and put it on Ravelry pretty soon. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, in Mosaic. I don't have the patience for Mosaic. I did do something in Mosaic last year. It was one of my goals for last year. And, I learned the technique and I did it reasonably well, but the technique didn't turn out to be really good for the project I was working on, if that makes sense. So, and now I'm not sure I have the patience for a large scale mosaic project because mosaic has to be large scale, usually. Um, but I was saying earlier today that I have this wonderful Stitch reference book that Fiber Floozy, that's not it. Fiber Floozy sent me. And whenever I need a new idea, I will just pick this up and I'll just leaf through it and I'll find something will strike my fancy and I'll go, oh, I could do something with that. And then I do. Anyway, so we've been on for about an hour and a half, and it has been lovely. And I want to thank you, everybody who is on here with me. I hope that we're good with thumbs. And as always, I say, like, subscribe, comment, share, all the standard YouTube crap, and keep coming back. And if you do Tunisian, email me and I'll send you this pattern for a test. Oh. 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 Lori, I'll think about it. I could actually take the abandoned mosaic project that I started last year and turn it into a bag or of some sort. Because I've seen people do that. I'll look into that. That's actually not a bad idea. Because God knows I know about sewing in loose ends. That's the thing about mosaic. Anyway, so I'm going to call it a day. It has been lovely. Thank you, everybody who is here. As always, I want to thank all of my viewers, subscribers, members, anyone who visits my Ravelry store, anybody who helps me out with super chats, all of that stuff. And that's it. I'm a bit worn out, so I'm going to call it a night. And thank you so much. Bye-bye now.